to Onic Philippines later on whenever they do engage in a fight, but at least for King Kong, there's probably only the energy eruption that'll stop him from dancing around the members of TL.
Down to a best of 3 in the grand finals. We Bear Bros, you got this.
Thank you very much, panel, and welcome back to the desk here. It's me, Naisu, Leo, and Renmar to bring you the action.
So far, previously unbeatable weapons out of their arsenals have already tasted defeat. Now a new weapon enters the fray, the Lolita.
Need some dominance ISIS up on board here for Onic. Actually, even for Team Liquid, there's a lot of shields going around, Spell Vamp going around the two lineups. Super Prince has Rupture, Wilderness Blessing. Okay, standard with emblem builds.
Yep.
Could be a difficult one for King Kong, but at the same time, I see a universe where this could actually be an okay game for him. Question is, how is it going to fare for the rest of Onic, considering, again, one of their biggest tools in the traction pulse of the Kimi could be reflected back into them. The basic attacks of the Kimi could be reflected back into them by the Lolita.
Yeah, JP's pick here is going to be crucial for Tlph, but I will say I am rather happy about our current meta and that down in the grand finals, we're still getting debut picks.
It's so wide open.
Yeah.
Again, there are games wherein you swore it was Badangable. Nary a shadow Badang shows.
Yep.
And Selena!
Yep. It's such a throwback. Again, Fredrin, man. He's just straight up back at this point. Even Lancelot too. Baksha too. When are the Banes and the Barretts that's going to come out?
Ooh, don't get me tingly. I'm glad that Sanford's back, you know?
Yeah.
There's a reason why that penalty zone was such a game changer a couple years back.
Exactly, and Body of Sanford is a fantastic passive ability. Allows him to survive. So let's see if that's going to come into play as Sanford on the glue. Is getting pressured just a bit, but no ganks. Oh, Onic are giving up this first turtle.
Sanji flickered forward, smells the blood and freeze. Phantom execution, the answer by King Kong. Puncture win, and the first blood drawn. The Lone Stallion falls. JP, where's he going? They were all just playing feint because Liquid, they were working on the Lord. Turtle.
Liquid gets the turtle. That was a risk that Sanji was willing to take by burning the flicker.
Yeah, added to the Oxford Dictionary earlier this year, the word gigil. Now officially an English word, not just in Filipino. Search up what it means, but that's what Sanji showed there. Too much gigil, way too expensive. Costed his flicker. He forced the flicker out of Super Frizz, but they gave a kill to a hero that they did not want to give a kill to.
Yeah, so going back to the whole point about King Kong, in this game, specifically on the Lancelot, getting an early kill like that, probably is going to give him a little bit of confidence and room to work with now to go ahead and scale up the way that he wants to. Early game even, and they'll have to play around it.
Okay, the items. Oh, Molten Essence straight for Tlph, of course. So that he could farm up a little bit quicker. Brusco might get caught out. Shortcut.
Tlph answered by the shortcut. There's his Mplph got by Kelrock. Appraiser's Wrath. Shutting down Brusco. In goes JP. That's a quick turnaround for Liquid. Down goes Kirk and Prince.
That's one bonk and then 2 bonks that come through with this composition.
Bonk. Oh my god! Numenon Blast!
It's been a minute.
It's been a while, so I guess timing fights with it isn't natural anymore. Kelra coming in 2v1. Brusco to the rescue. Liquid backing out.
I will admit, I have been desperately crawling in my memory banks to remember the ultimate of the Lolita. So I'm glad that you said it. The Nyum Blast. Oh, Prince!
Prince gets popped here. Who would have thought that there wasn't enough firepower between a Fred and a Lu Yi this early?
I wonder how many people have literally looked at that ultimate and tried to say it.
Numenon is an actual word, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
is.
It's not made up.
It's not made up. Wasn't created in the land of Dawn. But that's essentially, you saw the interaction between having an Appraiser's Wrath, having the Numenon Blast available to you. There's a whole lot of area that Onic Philippines does not want to get caught in.
Glue, Lo Yi, and Lolita, along with the Fredrin all together to supplement a strong backline gold laner. We are so definitely back. King Kong misses, so does Kirk.
Oh man, Kirk committed the penalty zone there. And it's the same play, look at this. Liquid go for the turtle one more time for free.
They don't want to go for these objectives. They're going to diversion now up top. They're in a threat here for King Kong's jungle.
Ooh, I could have sworn they had ill intentions for the king there. Let him go. Scot-free.
I thought, like, once they saw that the orange buff was pulled or it wasn't there, it's like, hey guys, maybe we should try invading this. But no, they didn't want to waste the time to check and confirm it. The Grand Final Pocket Pick, the last time Lolita was played in a Grand Final match, I remember this so well. Season 11 by then Echo Roamer Yaoi versus Blacklist International. If I'm not mistaken, that was in game number 2.
And Yaoi won.
Yeah.
That was the season they became champions.
Yeah, and of course that Lolita for then Echo. That Lolita was what costed them the Season 10 Grand Final. So wait, King Kong.
King Kong could be in trouble. Phantom Execution's on out. Tlph though.
Kirk looking for an entry. Tlph very low. Penalty zone once again. Zaman force by Kelra. Now goes Brusco. Trade off for Tlph. 1-for-1 the exchange. Make that a 2-for-1. Kirk. Mopping the floor with the Sanford. Super Prince goes down. Oheb finds him within range. Kirk still wailing away. Glue versus Terizla. Terizla versus Glue. This could go on for days. Here comes Oheb to finish the job. Kirk, where you going? Kirk, BOS doing its job. Finally he bites it.
Man, the body of Smith, the body of Sanford will help you, but not enough to deal with the bullets from Oheb.
He took a lot of time. The Team Liquid Philippines eventually got the trade they needed to get. They will not be able to convert it into a tower. Maybe they can. Sanford with the zone out, and they do get the major trade, not just with the bodies, but with the towers as well. Liquid solidifying their lead and control in this game number 5.
Oh, the diversion. They sent Tlph out. Just enough time to spot the purple take by King Kong. Onic are holding on this mid lane tier 1.
Yeah, they're going to be able to hold on to that, but this turtle, I don't know if they're just going to give all the turtles up here. King Kong working on his orange, but this is just blitz, so that's going to be 3 for 3 in the turtles for Tlph. We'll see if Onic Philippines wants to go ahead and contest that first Lord once it's up. But right now, turret, it does go down in the bottom lane, so they at least put 1 on the board. Onic Philippines will have to go ahead and scrap around with what they can, because it seems like, again, they're just kind of at the whims of answering to this aggression that Tlph has thrown at them right now.
Yeah, King Kong's been able to farm up well, but again, there's only so much Lancelot can do in the sequences. The only time he actually got to get a kill was that early aggression by Sanji, over-aggression, which in the big picture of it all was actually just chump change they were willing to give to Onic. Now they might get this tower in mid.
Coming in, penalty zone from Kirk. Counter out with the Zaman force. Brusco pushing the rest of Liquid back. They've cut through the formation. Oheb backing out here. Numinal blast forward. Super Red gets caught. Oheb gets a kill. Down goes Kelra 2. 2K for Kiel 1. The diversion by Sanji. Covering all the bases. Liquid don't want to take no prisoners. Sanji and Tlph pushing King Kong out.
This is a problem right now. Oheb is online, locked in, 5-0-2, and just gets the BOD.
Numenon Blast in the clutch again for JP. After that error with the chip earlier in this series. Previous game, it was the Baxia. This game is the little Lita. Daddy JP has been showing up for the kids.
He is a man on a mission. He will not let his legacy be tainted by that chip. One more look at that gameplay here.
This is so good. Again, the shortcut comes through,
bang,
but that Numenal Blast stops them in their tracks. Yeah. And that really wasn't the shortcut angle that you were looking for in that exchange anyway in the mid.
Yeah, add to that the taunt by Tlph to solidify that kill and that win in the center. Onic are still very close in terms of the resources. They have items on Kelra, very far away though from the Holy Crystal. He's still on the Starlium side and the Feather of Heaven, so it's going to take a lot of time. Super Prince as well is struggling with the items. They have gold, money, damage on King Kong, but they need significantly more. They're going to give this up.
Yeah, Lords for the taking here.
Unless.
I'm not sure if Onic Philippines really wants to contest this. It's being blitzed down though.
Brusco with a conceal, coming in from an off angle, sets up the shortcut. Lord still in a very perilous position. Retribution unneeded. Sanji scores it, and Kirk here gets pulled in. The grab serves up another stack for
diversion.
Oheb.
Diversion.
Where are they sending it? Right behind Super Prince. Tlph and the gang finds it. Mr. 2K helping baby cakes. Double kill for Oheb.
7-0-2. Oheb to some, Kiel 1 to others. To his enemies, the last thing they never see.
To Brigida, the Oheb. And now in the mid lane, They're going to push in a little bit further. The shields are going to pop. And this is a moment. Still, Lord is up. Tlph, how are they going to continue on this? And Onic, what do they do here?
They split push. Look at King Kong here. Committing Grand Theft Purple, pushing that tier 2 up top. And he needs to get back home. That inhibitor is in jeopardy. Look at the back line here. Numinum Blast one more time. No flicker. In comes Brusco. Shortcut coming through. Sanford trying to clear this spot here for OM to fire back. Down goes Brusco. Trade out for Sanji. Carl DZ very low as well. JP gonna bite it. Bulwark able to save him for just that much longer. A winning trade for Onic, but they do lose their inhibitor.
I asked what could they do, and that's exactly what they did. They split push, they come in with a shortcut, they get a double for King Kong, and they get some much needed gold in the hands.
Yeah, Kirk and Brusco, who both have Radiant armors to boot, and an anti-cuirass on the Terizla. They opened it up, they gave Onic that opportunity, and it was a brilliant follow-up from the Super Fam. As JP was forced to commit his flicker out, he could not use the flicker Numenon Blast to turn the fight around. He had to use the Numenon Blast defensively, and Onic just waited for the animation to end before they entered, before King Kong got his double kill.
Onic pulled the trigger at the very right time. If that fight happened underneath their tier 3 turret, and when the Numenon Blast would be favorable for JP to pull, it would have been over. Like, there's a world I see where this is done.
Yeah, it definitely could have been, and with that, it was a good response because they chose that fight once they saw that opportunity. And it's always the case, like anytime we have a Louis and a Chip on these teams or on the playing field, you know that those ultimates are going to be crucial here. Once again, the diversion has played a part. It's even good for faking things out, but so is that shortcut where Brusco has to be a little more calculated with this. So items, are they looking pretty good for Onic now?
Yep, already with the Holy Crystal on Kelra, so Team Liquid Philippines have to be more strategic with how they take their fights to ensure that they get to put pressure onto Kelra. Super Friends actually built up a Demon Hunter sword. Again, there are elements of Kimmy's kit, most importantly her abilities that also scale with physical damage as well. And of course, we know with Kimmy, the more attack speed you build onto her, she does get more magic power as well.
So DHS, a winner of an item here for Super Friends, might provide that power spike they're looking for. Help them maybe contest. I don't know, man. I'm not in a position to say if they should, because that's a good position for Brusco.
Yeah. We'll see how they do it. He's actually he's going to get spotted out. Okay.
The jig's up. The jig is up. Whoa!
Shortcut.
Numenon Blast to respond. A couple of big ticket ults though. Brusco's going the long way around, man. This is a Pamela angle. The rest of Liquid. Popping the Bruiser. And look at this, Onic. This is a clear go sign. When the cat's out, the mouse goes blade. Sanford gets that grab on the King Kong. 4v1. In comes the rest of the cavalry from the back.
Here they come. He can't get away. Still going to be worked on. Sanford now half health. Do they just go for the Lord? It's been started up by Carl TZ. You know, Super Friends will keep Sanford at bay, but they have no choice without Brusco to just get ready for the defense.
The Lord looks good in blue this time around as they score another one.
The Apex Predator held down the line. And I want to go back to see what Brusco did. He could have used that that Y walk to go somewhere way safer. But I felt like that was telegraphed. He wanted to try to pull the attention of Team Liquid, which he did, to force an answer so that they would commit the diversion to him, which they did. Onic just did not have enough resources to bliss down the Lord as Sanford stuck with the Lord. Yeah. Team Liquid Philippines telegraphed the move that Onic wanted to do. Great MLBB by these two teams.
Again, it's just showing how much these teams know about each other and about high-level decision-making. Onic Philippines is going to have to make that happen here as they defend at full force into the base. You saw Brusco off on the side, though. He might look for his angle here on the back line.
Traction Pulse already spent up. Kelra with the Salmon Force. Massive DPZ here. Sanji gets taken down. JP barely alive. Look at the back line here. Ohem blasting away at King Kong. Down goes JP. Kelra getting 2 so far. This is looking like Onic have picked a good fight. Liquid should back out of here. Down goes Sanford.
And with that defense, Onic Philippines will find 3 kills and stay in the game.
Liquid gets nothing.
Brusco with the gank. The Bruiser coming up big time. Bruises do heal, but the emotional damage from what he did just now does not. Oh no! Oh no!
In comes the rest of them. It's not over. Another summon force underneath tier 2 this time around. Kelra takes down Oheb and Tlph to boot.
All part of the plan, says Brusco, as Redmar was just talking about it.
That was Aftershock.
Liquid are turning purple, black, and blue. Brusco, 2 massive shortcuts, massive plays on the chip. I thought he stood there for nothing, but he was able to get the shortcut off in time, just as he was going down. As we look at the instant replay, this was the gank. Conceal, Flicker committed, Oheb got space, but Tlph was busy with Super Friends. He used the Appraiser's Wrath, but Super Friends already flickered before that. Sanford went in, last shot to King Kong, but Oheb could not help him out as Brusco was covering Oheb's sentry. And now Onic have made this an even ball game. This could go anyone's way. The towers lean towards Liquid, but if they have another massive error again, then Onic might run away with it.
Again, we'll find ourselves in this position where Onic had to crawl back at one point. They've done that, and now they have evened out the field for this Lord take here in 10.
They've been so good at breaking up Liquid's formation. As soon as I saw the traction pulse not get hit by the bulwark, and Liquid just go, okay, we'll still go anyways. That was a clear sign that Onic was comfortable. And when Onic is comfortable, you better not be the opposing team because they tend to do things like this now. Onic, not even looking at the Lord. There should be a singular sign of something's up.
Something's up here. You see how much threat Kirk has too because of what just happened in that base defense. He was able to get the penalty zone on multiple members, so Tlph has to not be sure that they don't clump up because that's exactly where Kirk wants to go, especially when that flicker is available. So they'll go ahead, have it reset for now, grab the buffs that they need, and then get ready. You can see Kelra's holding on to that purple buff for now. And this could be a game-winning Lord really at this point for both the teams.
50-50. Brusco staying with King Kong with a split push, so just in case someone decides to gank up there, he has backup. Chip can get here fast though. Sanford holding the beacon.
Oh,
they're going.
In comes Brusco, Y walk plus a shortcut, flicker spent. Lumen on blast underneath does not stop the Sigma jungler from taking the Lord. Black and yellow, this major objective will be. Liquid still alive, the rest of Onic as well. JP coming through, looking for that bug. Diversion up from the back line. Not much of a play Sanji and Sanford can make from that angle. King Kong answers with a Thorn Rose. Nothing phased Onic.
No one goes down in that whole interaction, but the Lord ultimately secured by King Kong.
King Kong, of course, one of the major strengths of the Lancelot. Press Thorn Rose and you are out of the map for a moment. And there were so many things going on that he was in a safe retribution spot. At this point, I would not be surprised if you told me that King Kong was made in a lab somewhere.
Hey, back in what? His debut was it season 9, season 10?
12.
Season
11.
On TSC, I remember when he was making those retributions back then in his rookie season, we were saying, and look how he's performing now, you know, up to this point.
That's a world champion you're talking about.
That's a world champion. But we saw the potential back in the rookie season, and right now it's Onic Philippines with a huge momentum leading into the base of Tlph. Lord's going to charge into the top turret. They'll hold it together. Kirk has the penalty zone, but no flicker. So they might just try to get turrets for now, not try to force the game win push yet.
We've seen many Lolita defend from inside their base and clap it back. So this is something Onic respects very well.
It's one massive Numenon blast versus one massive penalty zone. Kirk landed a really good one there in that last fight. Didn't lead to kills, but it gave Onic the win in the big picture. More minions coming in for them, and they continue their siege.
Great, base is going to be worked on still. Waves are pushed in, but I think that's all they get. Gentlemen, this is just going to get the top turret. So this is going to be a long game. This is going to be one of the ones that goes the distance here so far in the series. Next to the next Lord, it's a minute away. But we could still see what we saw back in, game 2, when you have a Loyi and a Chip in play. They can go for a surprise factor. Are there anything that could happen here with the items? I know they're not completely locked in.
Okay, so the Rose Gold Meteor from Oheb is a great item choice. Keller decided to go for full damage. No Blood Wings around here. Concentrated Energy, Divine Glaive, even the Wishing Lantern. So that rose gold meteor will come in the clutch for Oheb. For how much, we'll see. JP now just built up an anti-Karash, should help with the damage output a bit of King Kong, and it even reduces a little bit of the damage output of the Kimmy, again considering that the Kimmy abilities scale with physical and deal physical that will proc anti-Karash stacks on the Kimmy of Super Friends.
I'm impressed that Kirk isn't building any damage items, like not even a War Axe.
Yeah.
Like he knows he's a penalty zone machine.
He's just the guy to jump in. You know?
Just a guy with a big hammer.
Just a big hammer.
It's just a wall.
You know? You go through life sometimes. That's a burden itself.
Whoa, what?
Sounds too real. Are we still talking ML?
Yeah!
Man.
Talking about Kirk here, man.
Ah, yes. I like how that was great. But now I'm getting quite reflective and overthinking everything. Anyways, Onic still sticking with his formation of 2-3 with Brusco hovering around where King Kong is. Playing on the possibility that King Kong might be able to split push as the objective is up. Good control of the shrubs. Good formations from both, although Liquid Philippines cannot play the same spread as Onic. They have to play close, they have to play tight. I think if they can force a very early engagement by Onic, that should be their turnaround point.
Both buffs are up here, so they'll give Kettle the purple. King Kong is going to go grab the orange, and Tlph working on theirs as well. Both roams going to be playing a crucial part here. JP too, if he can get a Numenon Blast with the flicker available, that could turn the tide of this fight, and that's why it's going to be they're going to take their time with this. And they continue to do this. We saw Onic Philippines pretty much do this all game. They'll go ahead and plant King Kong alongside Brusco up top on the long portion of the map. And I would say it's a minor advantage. You know, they have that long lane, whereas instead, Onic only lost that mid turret.
Yes, and to add to that, Onyx kit, what they're threatening Liquid with, is a surprise from an off angle. You can only cast Numenon Blast from a certain angle. If Brusco finds you from the behind, that's so much harder for JP to recover from.
Okay.
Unless he flickers backward.
Yeah, it's the Euro step.
The Euro step.
Euro step fade away 360 Numenon Blast.
Yeah, made popular by Ben Things.
Yep.
Yeah.
But again, it's easier said than done.
You also have to consider that the Guardian's reflection of the Lolita does reflect the basic attack of the Harith. It counts as a projectile, so that might come into play later on. I think, again, besides the Numenon Blast, it's really the Guardian's reflection that Onic want to play around. But their damage output is so great at this point that they burn that Guardian's reflection so quickly.
Right now, we'll see if they can... this Lord hurts.
What is this positioning? Tlph holding the shrub. I think they're going to try and set up either for a diversion or a conceal play from that middle shrub later.
Yeah. They'll try something they haven't tried all game long.
Yeah. All right, they put Tlph in a roam-style positioning to try to get vision for his own purple buff. It's like, I'm the roam now.
I think you just kind of have to. Like, you got to get... We were in this position, a couple games ago where you just got to get creative, you know? And it was, unfortunately, it was the other way around. So right now, Tlph, they'll just kind of see what they can get the information that they need here.
They're flushing Brusco out.
Yeah.
They would rather face Brusco head on and then force a respond with a shortcut, because so far, Onic doesn't like that. Onic doesn't like when shortcut comes in as a reactionary ult.
Yeah, they're looking for the chip first. That's why Brusco decides to back off. Onic shifted their position into something more defensive, because they know that if they can find Brusco, they can use the diversion to quickly get back to the objective. Sanford can hold on for as long as he could against that. Now a shift again, a long dance around the map, not just around the objective pit at this point. The top minion wave though. Let's see if Liquid will try to find a way to leverage that, knowing that Onic knows that Liquid wants to control that.
There could have been a fight breaking out. Prince threw out a traction pulse. Odd.
Maybe that's just the chance. You know, like, if I grab someone with the traction pulse, then great, we can maybe start this up, but they'll start the Lord up anyway for now here.
Yeah, 40 has vision. 40 knows that Onic wants to dance. Onic is beckoning Liquid to respond. Lord here at less than half health. King Kong is not in vision, so even 40's looking for him.
Yeah, and Onic are very smartly holding the middle shrubs because they know if ever Liquid are on the other side of the map, that is the most likely shrub Sanji would want to enter. So they're also denying the potential of a diversion play through there, and I think Sanji's thinking the same way.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, fantastic macro from these two, managing the minion waves, trying to play around their big ticket teleportation ultimates. And now Tlph are trying to force a reaction. They show themselves up top, but Onic are not biting the bait.
They're not going to bite the bait here, man. Sanford is just able to go ahead and plant himself and give the vision.
Welcome to late 2022. Lord dances would go on this long. This is the normal tempo of a late game Lord dance. What's going on? Diversion. Just a feint.
Yeah, just
Wonder
a
if
feint.
Onic saw that.
Kirk got to see it. Actually, since Kirk went in there, Sanji decided to call it off. 1,156 Skypiercer stacks on this Granger. It's not a question of does O have a damage. It's more of a question of does Tlph have enough to hold on long enough, considering that the late game magic damage scaling of the Kimmy and Harith is what's making their front line crumble relatively quickly.
Yeah, this is probably the most stalemate we've had. I feel like maybe in the playoffs even, but definitely in this series where neither team can really give it a go. You know, they have such big macro ultimates available to both of them that they really have to be decisive on it. And that's the thing, when you're looking at this.
Oh, Brusco?
Why walk?
Are they? Oh no, he's trapped.
Oh no, Brusco's going to be trapped. He's going to need the help.
There's a retribution by Tlph. Numen Blast.
Oh!
Here comes the rest of Onic. They pop Brusco's immortality.
Good.
Here comes the Zaman Force and the sling from the puncture. Down goes Tlph. No trade so far. Liquid finding it hard. Look at the back line. Another catch. Brusco will go down.
Oh, Brusco goes down. Sanford immortality going to be popping. Look at the
They're
lane.
setting up a split push.
The base race!
The OM and Sanji. Rico's coming through. Here comes Kirk first. Super Prince flickers forward. And the base falls. Textbook vintage Liquid.
To go back to the 7-year history of our league, Liquid, vintage, and it's not just vintage, it's signature.